So Marcus, you just moved into your new place.
Yep.
So when are you going to have me over for dinner?
Dude, probably never.
You don't like to cook?
No, not at all. It's not my specialty. Living out here though in LA, ton of different places to eat. Like I love like trying different things. I've been introduced to a lot of different cultures and like foods and stuff. It's been like a real joy like out here, especially from where I'm from to like now.
Compared to in Michigan, you feel like you've tried a lot more things?
Absolutely. Thai food, Korean, like Japanese, anything from anywhere, like Mediterranean, like we went to that place, like that small, like that Food Line place, right?
Yeah, that's right. The first time I came out, but when we started recording season one, you took me to Cava.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, I say Cava. You say
Cava. Well, I'm Canadian.
Tomato, whatever. We're cutting that part out though, because my girl likes that place, and I'm not supposed to go without her. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I know. For real.
She can't hear this.
Yeah, no, that's editing out.
Well, what would you say is like your absolute favorite type of food?
Oh, Thai food. Yeah, top. For sure.
Thai?
Yeah. I mean, I love like Italian food, of course.
Italians or Italian, if we want to
okay.
go. It is definitely mine. I've spent so much time in Italy, and for me, that's definitely number one.
Well, what about you? Do you like to cook? Like, what's your favorite Italian dish to cook? I guess.
I do like to cook. I like making different kinds of pasta and things, but I wouldn't exactly call myself an expert.
Mm-hmm. Like you boil like Chef Boyardee, like that's what.
A microwave. Yeah, I wouldn't say I can make any authentic Italian dishes.
Sure.
Yeah, but the person joining us today happens to be an absolute pro.
Absolutely.
When you have a passion for something, if you want to do a good job, you need to feel it. You need to have the passion to do whatever you do, but do your best. I think that you need to create your own dream. And if you really believe in it, sooner or later it's going to happen.
Our guest today is a food stylist, a menu developer. I can't look at her Instagram for more than 10 seconds without my mouth just foaming. She's about to open a brand new restaurant.
Yes.
Let's welcome Chef de Cuisine, Barbara Pollastrini, to the show.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, welcome to Indy LA.
Thank you.
So you've got this new restaurant about to open up, which we definitely want to get into because I want to be first in line to try whatever it is you're making.
Thank you.
But I kind of want to know where your culinary journey began. Where did it all start for you?
Well, I'm Italian, so our journey, basically almost every Italian starts in the kitchen with our mom, or if you are lucky enough to have your grandma. Mm-hmm. That's how it started with me. So my mom, she was an excellent cook, but she hated. So she didn't like to cook. So what she did, basically, when I start to grow up, she started to ask me, do you want to do the chores in the house or you want to cook? Of course, I said I want to cook. That's how we start. So I start to go and shopping with her. I start to go, to the farmers market every day, because in Italy we have everyday farmers market.
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
So she started to teach me how to choose the right ingredients. So my passion started in this way. Okay. So when I was younger, she bought me a little cart. So all the farmers, they were like, gave me as a gift, like a zucchini or a tomato. So when I was going home, I have my little tools. I would start to cook with her. And it was amazing because I felt in love with ingredients before I even knew that I knew exactly how to buy a tomato, an eggplant, a zucchini, whatever. So today I still have that in mind when I go into the shopping. So,
and that came from your mom?
That came from my mom.
So what does make a good ingredient? How do you pick out good produce?
Well, first of all, if you are lucky enough to have directly from the farmer, that's the first thing. And second of all, organic, because we really don't want to have, products that are all the same. The people in America especially think that if you have a huge tomato, you are lucky enough to have it's a good one. It's not. For example, there is a story that I always said that, the tomato in Italy are small because we don't give them too much water, because there is a lot of flavor here. More water you give and more flavorless are. So it's just all these things, you pick small tomato, very ripe. They don't have to be green if you want to make a sauce. So it's just these little secrets that she teach me. So
okay, I need to learn some of those secrets because I struggle choosing avocado at the grocery store still.
Yeah,
I've got when he gets home, I've got about like 2 hours before
exactly. I know.
Over.
Yeah, Marcus, you're such a big you're a big cook in the kitchen, right?
Man, not really. No, I struggle a lot, but yeah, I mean, that's so interesting to hear you say that. Just developing that skill of like choosing produce and like knowing what to get as a kid, like you developed that. So.
But what in the kitchen, I always said, no matter how good you are, if you have the right ingredients, you are halfway to have an amazing dish. Everything starts from amazing ingredients. You need to spend more money probably sometimes, but that's your success come from, like whatever you give put on the plate.
Yeah, it's worth
so
it.
Like research for chefs, researching the right ingredients, right? People that make whatever, ingredients you need is super important. So, yeah.
And being Italian, I know, food is very much a part of your guys' culture. Yes. That's kind of like the highlight of the day. Am I right?
Yeah, basically for us, when I moved here in America, something that really I didn't understand was the fact that there is this fast food. For us, and I still have that, in the morning I need to sit, have my breakfast, lunch, and dinner on the table. And I use the best plate that I have, and it's just like a ritual for us. Okay. So thinking about fast food is a little bit like hard still after so many years that I'm here. But yeah, it's for us, it's the time that you spend with your family if you have one, so, but definitely is a ritual for us.
It's more of an event.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And we just, everybody's part of it. We cook together, we set the table together, and we talk. When you have meals, you have time to talk about your day, whatever plan, whatever. So it's the best part of the day for us. So yes, absolutely.
Well, Marcus and I have actually spent some time in Italy as well.
We
both
a little bit.
Nice.
Yeah, we both performed on cruise ships.
Nice.
I spent quite a bit of time, Naples, Civitavecchia.
Oh, nice.
La Spezia,
beautiful places.
And
yes.
Porto Venere.
So you understand what I'm talking about.
Yeah, and even for us getting off the ship, on the day, our day was very much planned around, okay, where are we going to go eat?
Yeah, exactly. It was very
much about the food. Yeah. For us too, an event.
Well, you went in the best places ever. Naples is one, they have amazing food. So La Spezia has amazing food. The Civitavecchia is very close where I live.
Kind of
exactly. So it's amazing. You have the best places where to eat.
See, and I was in these places and I actually just didn't know where to look. So when we were touring and I saw the Leaning Tower of Pisa, there were a lot of tourist attractions and sort of Americanized food trucks and such. Yeah. And so my first experience, I thought I was having an authentic Italian experience, getting some pizza from a food truck.
Oh.
And it ended up being just this meat lovers,
He goes to the fast food.
Yeah. When you go in Italy, the first rules is not to go where you see a lot of tourists, don't go there.
Yeah.
That's the key of eating very well, because sometimes, most of the people that go in Italy, they think that they found the food they found here. For example, the most important known dish is Alfredo sauce.
Okay.
In Italy, Alfredo sauce is nothing but butter and Parmesan cheese. There is nothing else. So it's like an emulsion of these two ingredients that make a cream. Here, they make completely another dish. Is hard. I'm sorry, but it is not even possible to think about eating that. But so people sometimes think that is the food they are going to find there, and most of the restaurateurs in Italy, unfortunately, that's what they do. They won't make them feel that they have that kind of food, which is wrong because most of the Americans, especially, they love the simplicity of our dishes. So, for example, in my kitchen, in my food, I don't have more than 4 ingredients. There is no way, like five maximum. But my goal is just, to have these little ingredients and you can taste all of them. So that's the key about Italian food.
Okay.
Simplicity.
Okay. So we overdo things here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, yes. About Italian food, I'm talking about recreating Italian dishes overcrowded in the dish.
Sure. What is your favorite classic Italian dish?
Well, it's very simple. My favorite is like pasta with tomato sauce. It looks like simple to make, but it's not, because, for example, in Italy it's super simple because you can use one kind of tomato. Here, to make a decent tomato sauce, which most of the Americans call marinara, I have to use like 4 or 5 kind of tomato because one has some kind of, as I said before, the tomato are so big that they don't have flavor. So it's something that, but is the simplicity of the sauce is amazing, and if you have a good pasta, that's even better, But that definitely simplicity is the key for me to have a good meal.
Okay.
Yeah.
My former skating partner is actually from the north of Italy.
Oh.
In Pozzo di Fassa.
Okay.
So I've spent a lot of time up in the north as well.
Beautiful.
And we'd be on the ship with other people. There would nothing that would drive her more crazy than to see somebody like just cutting up a plate of spaghetti.
Exactly. That's still painful today because sometimes
before you put it in the pot,
yes,
it all fit.
Just butchering it.
It's just like painful for us. After so many years that I'm here, I think that everybody. Because when I arrived, I was looking at all these things that Americans were doing, and I was so mad because I said, "Oh my God, what do you do?" Now I'm calmed down, Yeah, because I said I want to do. Everybody, there is freedom. Thank God that we are free to do whatever we want. So, if you want to eat your Alfredo sauce as you want it, just do it. It's not, just. I will recognize it as an Italian dish, but freedom is the best thing ever.
Well, Marcus and I were joking a little bit beforehand. I was thinking as a joke to bring you a can of Chef Boyardee and just to see how you react. But Marcus wouldn't let me. He was the voice of reason on that.
I thought it was a little too mean for an introduction.
Listen, one of the things that I really love to do when I go, for example, in a grocery shopping, there is this aisle of prepared pasta dish. Mm-hmm. So it's like, as you can imagine, I never tasted. But I know people that say, "Oh my God, I grew up eating like boyardee pasta or ravioli or whatever." And for me, it's like beyond any comprehension because how even I saw that there are cans with tomato and meat inside, like ravioli with meat. I said, how you can have meat? It's just thinking about, that you are eating meat that is there for 2 or 3 years, probably just
sitting in a jar.
Yes, how you do that? I mean, it's fun because I do all the picture and, I post it on my stories on Instagram. So for me, it's fun, actually.
Well, I know you kind of have this also passion for fine art. Mm-hmm. And I think like classical music.
Oh, yeah.
How do you feel like you incorporate that into your dishes? Because I know, your things are so artistic.
Yeah, well, I mean, I grew up in Rome. So Rome is an open museum. So I grew up seeing beauty every day. So I don't know why I think I'm not part of this millennium or whatever. I was born, in another era for sure. And my dishes, they represent completely. There are people that said, "Oh my God, I see your dishes and I already know that it's you." So that's the best compliment, because that I put everything, I don't think when I plate a dish, I usually don't think how I'm going to plate it. It's the feeling that I have at the moment. So for me, it's super important. But definitely I am, classical music lover. I love everything that is Baroque and and as I said, I grew up in a beautiful city where we have every kind of style, from Baroque, Rinascimento, or whatever. We have a lot. So I grew up seeing everything, and that's represent my dishes too.
That's amazing. And I like that when you talk about the feeling that you put into your work, because I studied a lot of classical music with the saxophone going to school. That was the first year or two of our study, and I was so good at memorization and like reading the music that I could play everything note for note and just as it's supposed to be on paper. But I would find myself sort of having the same conversations with the same professors, like, you need to play with more expression, you need to play with a little bit more feeling. And so listening to like those the older recordings of like people, like hearing like their passion in the music and the expression, that is something that it's tough to capture, but like when you do, people notice it and it stands out. And like feeling the music is a lot more important than like hitting all of the notes.
Absolutely. I think, when you have a passion for something, whatever it is, doesn't matter. But if you want to do a good job, you need to feel it. You need to have the passion to do whatever you do, but do your best. Just, in my case, for example, choosing the plates, choosing the ingredients, choosing the flour that I put, is like, needs to be like, I feel it. I feel that I'm going to do that right now. Mm-hmm. And I'm so much in love with my job that is like, feel like I'm doing something that makes me so happy, so it's very unusual that I plan how to plate a dish, how to create a dish. My straight in the kitchen is having few ingredients and create right away whatever I have. So that's because that's how I grew up. Mm-hmm. Because in my house, my mama was cooking with 3 or 4 ingredients. That whatever we have in the refrigerator, that's what we were going to eat. So I grew up with that, and this is amazing.
Yeah, and it doesn't feel like work when
you. Yeah, I feel like even when I took video on my dishes or the picture on my dish, it makes me super happy. And like I said, oh my God, sometimes I look back in the dishes that I create. I said, did that? That's how I'm in love with whatever I do. So I'm lucky.
That's amazing.
Yeah. All right, so I kind of want to circle back to the grocery shopping, mm-hmm. And this is for our listeners. It's not, not just for me where to find stuff.
Oh no, of course not.
But where do you grocery shop, and like, what sort of recommendations do you have for people who like don't really know where to go to get like the best stuff?
Well, lucky enough, in LA, there are a lot of farmers market. So I know that there is a schedule. Every week there is a farmer market everywhere. So usually that's where I shop if I have like an amazing event. If I'm not lucky enough to have that day the farmers market, I know that there are like Whole Foods or Bristol Farm, whatever. But just, even when you go in these amazing places, you just need to be careful, because sometimes things are not that fresh, because people think, oh, I'm going to Whole Food. Oh, okay. But sometimes it's not, you don't find the fresh stuff that you think you are going to find. So we need to be careful, As I said, it's better to spend a little bit more and, have a 2 minutes drive and be happy with whatever you buy.
Yeah, with the quality.
Yeah, the quality is everything. So
do you find it's hard to source those Italian ingredients that you can get back home here?
Not anymore. No, not anymore. It's now there are so many importers. We can find whatever we want, literally whatever we want. When I moved here in 2005, that was very hard.
It was difficult. Okay.
Oh my God, it was super difficult. And I remember even I was buying the Parmigiano Reggiano, and I have to say it in Italian.
No,
it was so hard to find it that I have to just, at the time we have a Bristol farm that they were giving us like 42 months, 46, whatever, like years that. And we were lucky enough to have, it was super expensive. Today we have Italy, so we can find everything, and we have a lot of importers, so more easy.
Well, you grew up with this obviously very rich Italian food culture. I know you studied at Le Cordon Bleu.
Yes.
Which, for our listeners who don't know, I guess is was founded in Paris.
Yes.
In 1895, I believe.
Yes.
And is the largest network of culinary and hospitality schools in the world, I believe.
Yes, it is.
So what made you want to study there? And because they're primarily a French cooking, right?
Yeah, I have an amazing story about that. We were lucky enough that they opened a little school in Rome about French food. And of course, it was not my intention to go to the culinary school when I was growing up. But unfortunately, my mom got sick, super sick, and I don't know how, at some point she started to craving French food, which I was not a chef. I didn't know how, we didn't have, Google, So I didn't know what to do. So I started to make some research. Somebody told me, they open this French culinary school. So I said, let me go. So what I was doing, I was going to school in the morning, cooking whatever I was doing, and cooking the day. And then with whatever I cook, I was going to the hospital, bringing the food, French food for my mom. And that was, at the moment, was the only thing that she was able to eat. And I don't know how she loved French foods because she never tasted. But, when somebody's sick, you do whatever it makes. But that choice changed my life forever, because I love whatever I was doing there, and the fact that I was making somebody, in this case my mother, so happy eating whatever I was doing, that changed my life, because I said, oh my God, if that, even if she was sick, this is the feeling that I can bring to somebody, that's it. So I never stopped studying. Even today, I still study, because the moment that you think that you arrived, that you know everything, is the moment that your career is done. So I never stop studying. Never, never, never. I buy cooking books. I go, if there is a cooking class somewhere, I go, whatever. And I think that's keep my, my job alive.
So your mom really did influence you a lot.
Oh, yeah. My mama gave me everything. Yeah. If it wasn't for her, I didn't discover that I have this amazing passion for food and cooking food. Yeah. So she was amazing.
That's wonderful. Well, obviously you're from Rome. Now you're in LA. Where did that decision start? Why did you want to come to LA?
I don't know. Like my mother liked French food. I love America and American culture since I was. I always felt that was the place that I belong. Don't ask me why. So I fight so much to be here, but whatever I do nothing illegal. So I was I was lucky enough to have the possibility to have a visa. So I came here and I started working as a private chef for a friend, and then I started because my idea was to be a food stylist for movies, because in Italy we don't have this kind of
film culture.
No. And if we need to make in a film in Italy a pasta, everybody knows how to make a pasta, right. So they don't need a food stylist.
I get you.
Yes. But here there is completely another culture, so I want to explore more.
How did that pan out? Like, did you get into like the film, making things? Okay, tell me about that.
That was, back in the days, I have to be honest, everything was much, much easier. So I was looking for a job, nobody knows me. And here, if you are, you already have your background, you have, you can easily apply for a job. But if nobody knows you, you don't have any resume, it's super hard. So one day they told me, why, there is a Craigslist. At the time, it was amazing to find a job. Mm-hmm. So I was looking for, Italian chef. That's the key word was Italian chef, food stylist. So at some point I wrote food stylist, and came up like an ad that they were asking for a food stylist for movies. I said, "Oh my God, that's
You found it.
Exactly what you were looking for.
That's what I was." So I apply. Of course, I sent my resume, which in Italy was already a good resume, but here nobody knows. So I apply, and then I forgot about it. And after 4 months, this food stylist called me and said, "Are you still interested?" I said, yes. So he called me, and when I went to the kitchen, because before a movie you need to do all the prep.
Right.
So I went there, and he said, "Do you know how to cook?" I said, "Yeah, I know how to cook." But I was already a chef, and but I didn't want him to tell, I know how to do that. I went to the cordon bleu, I know whatever. So I wanted him to discover what I was able to do. So at the beginning, we were helping I was helping other chefs, washing dishes, whatever, cleaning other chefs' knife, whatever. So one day I was lucky enough, because one of the chefs, unfortunately for him, was sick. So the guy said, "Do you want to help me in the kitchen?" I said, "Okay." So I went in my car. I said, "Just wait, I go to pick up my knife." So he said, "Do you have a knife?" Like, "Yeah, I have my set."
Right.
So I went there in the car, and I came with this like amazing set knife. And he said, "Why you have this?" I said, "I'm a chef." He said, "Why you never told me?" Whatever. So we start to work, and he knew that I had like good skills. So we start to do movie together, and that became his left hand. I was. And that was amazing. We did amazing project together. I will never forget. But then I understood that it was not my good fit. So, but it was an amazing experience.
Oh, that's a great story. I mean, like, you put the work in, you were prepared, you came ready, and
You had your knives.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
right there waiting.
Always, when they call you to go and work for something, that's I go prepared. I go all my tools, all my knife, just in case.
Yeah.
And that was right.
I mean, I think that's such a valuable lesson
For sure.
for people in any industry.
Yeah.
Is just do the work and be prepared and show up.
Right.
No
Ready
matter
to
what.
go. Yeah.
Because you never know. So in that case, I was lucky enough, and even that I was prepared. So
Yeah, I can't tell you how many like gigs I've showed up to not prepared, first of all, and learning from that. The most recent like success that I have like as a DJ was coming very prepared with saxophone equipment. Brought my own like recording equipment, my own mixer, and the DJ saw that and he was like, "Oh, okay. This guy knew what to bring. He knew what to have like as his backup, and he came ready." So now I work with those guys, and like it's a whole career for me now. So
see,
yeah,
that's the point.
yeah.
So you said, after doing that for a while, you felt like maybe it wasn't the right fit or what you wanted to do maybe long term.
Yes. I think in everything that you do, you need to distinguish yourself.
Sure.
So while, I was doing this job, usually most of the time the food is not real, whatever you see, because it needs to stay under, the lights for hours and hours. And I didn't know that at the beginning when I started this job, because, with this food style, we were, he was doing a project, I was doing another project. So when he left me by myself doing a project, I started to cook for real. Whatever they would ask me, because you need to make a lot. So I still remember I went to this set, and I think I remember it's not just Into You, it was with Jennifer Aniston and a lot of other. And one of the scene was a pumpkin soup. And I make my pumpkin soup. So, and I remember that, while I was prepping the table, one of the actors asked, "Can I eat that?" I said, "Absolutely, this is warm enough." So they start to eat it. And, I remember they stopped a scene because it was good. It was good. And then the producer,
Let's go to lunch.
the producer brought home my soup.
Wow.
So, yeah, so. Since then, I was the food stylist that was cooking for real, So that's what I like to to do when I work. I make something different. It's more expensive for sure because, creating real food is more expensive than making like colored water, for example. But that's, people remind me just because of that.
Yeah, I imagine it can be hard. Like you said, when you were making that French cuisine for your mom, it was just to make her happy. And you really, you like to make food to make people happy.
Yes.
And when you're just making these amazing dishes and then no one's eating it, and it's just sitting there all day, it probably
exactly.
A bit of a knife sometimes.
That was one of the reasons why I decided that it was not the right fit for me, because I said I want to create and I want people eat my food, like people enjoy whatever I do, sitting, not just because they are doing a scene, So that's why I decided, after so many amazing experience in the movie industry, I said, okay, no, that's it.
Going back to my old skating partner, Martina, again, she got really into food photography for a while.
Nice.
And we'd always go out to eat these meals. But, any time we went out to eat, it was always going to be cold. Because by the time we move things around, you do all the pictures, and we actually get down to the eating, it's like, okay.
Yes, I understand that very well.
Yeah.
So tell us about your transition from working in the film industry with the culinary arts. What did you do next?
Basically, at the time, as I said, I was just came in America. So I was looking for whatever was making me money. So I start to work as a private chef for very high-end clients. And I was lucky enough to work, as I said, for family that you see on the newspaper, that's the magazine. So I was lucky enough to do that. But, sometimes you feel like you are always in a box, because the tire restriction, whatever. So it's very hard. So after many years of this private chef job, I I was discovered basically from two people that wanted to open a restaurant in Santa Monica. And at the beginning, they asked me to be just, consulting for them, recipe, menu development, whatever. But then when we start to work together, they asked me to be the executive chef, which for me was a huge deal because inside of me, I know that that was my dream. So I never had experience with the restaurant. It is completely different than be a private chef, food stylist, or what is another story. But because I love challenge and I love to learn so many aspects of my job, I said yes. It was an amazing experience because, we opened the restaurant and in the restaurant was nothing. So I have to build my kitchen. I have to build the restaurant. So it was amazing. And for me, it was an amazing lesson. And it was amazing because for 1.5 years, before the pandemic, basically, the restaurant was doing extremely well. And, we have this fine dining too, but not that fine dining as I wanted to do right now. And I create my little followers, and that was an amazing experience. Then I wanted to do the restaurant business, but it was the pandemic. So the pandemic killed everything. So I was lucky enough to find another job as a menu consulting. So I went to this place, and lucky enough for them, in 1 year that I was there, that I changed everything. They doubled the income during the pandemic, but that was not enough for me again. So my passion was always try to open a restaurant, and that's my final goal now.
So this has been a long time coming then.
Yes, but I'm very tough, and I don't let anybody to tell me that I cannot do something. And I shoot for the star all the time. So
yeah, that's how we gotta do it.
Yeah, that's the attitude. Well, let's get into the restaurant. Tell us about it. What is it going to be? When is it opening?
Okay, if everything goes as I hope, it's going to open at the beginning of November, and it's going to be beautiful inside because I design everything with a friend of mine that she's an amazing interior design, Adriana. And she basically walked me because I know that I can overdo things. So okay. she make me be on track of whatever. So it's going to be beautiful, and Green is going to be the color, but there are so many surprises inside.
Okay.
It's going to be just for 16 people. So it's very small, and that's come back the thing that I was saying, that my goal is make everybody happy, and I don't want a big restaurant where I cannot taking care of my clients in the right way. So so now I have 16 people. The menu will be Michelin star kind of food, and because my goal right now in life, which is the always, and to win a Michelin star. So it was so tough to be in this position right now to be able to open a small restaurant as I wanted. So I know that I have to wait so many years, but I'm patient, and I know that the right time is coming. So that's the goal, Michelin star.
That's awesome. Well, it sounds like you have a lot of patience and obviously like a lot of perseverance. But tell us a little bit about some of those hardships. Like, how have you gotten through some of those obstacles to open like your own place?
Well, first of all, the first obstacle is the money, because you need to have millions of dollars to open a restaurant here, and I save so much money lately because that's my goal was opening a restaurant. So I try to save as much as I could, but not that kind of money, it's just millions of dollars because that's what it is. And, I don't like to have investors, because it's not because I mean, those are easy money, but why? Because as I said, I'm a woman, and sometimes if you have a male, they try to oversay things, and I'm a free spirit, especially when I work. I have to have, if somebody is going to tell me what to do, is the time that my job is my freedom, mental freedom is gone. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, I was ready even to change that, because you need to compromise in life. So what happened is that, I found this place very close to my house, because I live in Hollywood, and that's where I wanted my restaurant to be, in Hollywood, because I know that it's going to be the food scene. And also around me, there are already 3 Michelin stars. So I said, this is the right place where I want to stay, So I found this place, which was not even that beautiful. It was not my dream, but, was already done inside. So I didn't have to put so much money in it. So I started a conversation 1.5 years ago with this, manager from this building. And, at the beginning, I sent whatever he was asking me, like for documents. I was sending whatever. I said, give me 2 days, I'm going to send everything. So he was asking me, of course, business plan, the plan of the restaurant, menu. I was sending whatever he was asking me, I was sending to him. And, when I was sending him all this paper, right away he said, but we need this. And okay, give me this. Give me a few, because of course I am not an accountant. I don't know. I am a chef. Right. So I said, give me time to ask people to do whatever you ask me. Okay, so send the other, and they was asking me for more, and then for more, and then for more, and then we went back and forth for 1.5 years. Okay. And then I said, you know what? There is something that is not right, because also. And then, I just give up. I said, I can't. But then I went in Italy, and then my passion for food, when you go in Italy and you see, the story is that I went to eat to this 3 Michelin star restaurant and I have to be, my life completely changed, because I have this meal that I said, oh my God, I can do this. I can recreate not recreate, but create something similar, because this restaurant is, I think is one of the best restaurants where I eat. And the simplicity that, come back to me, that, every dish was so simple that you don't have to overdo to have 3 Michelin star restaurants. So I came back and I called back this guy. And I said, listen, I really want this place, what I can do, And then, I went there with my future manager of the restaurant. Mm-hmm. And he started to talk with him. I was the guy, the person that was putting the money. He didn't talk to me at all. Any conversation was with him.
Really?
I was writing email and he was replying to him. I was writing letters, SMS, like text message. He was just talking to. He didn't talk to me anymore. So, but I didn't see that at the beginning. So I said, okay, it's so hard to get this restaurant. But then everybody else started to say, Barbara, there is something that is not right here. Can you see that? I said, not yet, because I'm very tough.
Yeah, yeah.
So one day I asked for a meeting with this guy, and he started to say, but if you open, you need to promise that Albert, this guy, is going to be with you all the time, and so he said, if this guy is going to be with you, I'm going to open the restaurant. I'm going to give you the restaurant. If he's not going to be with you, I won't give it to you. So the fact that he had something to say how I have to run my restaurant, it was not okay.
Yeah.
And then I said, you know what? No. He has to say about the food that I was serving, the menu. He didn't like the menu. He wanted to be sure that I was putting some kind of music that he likes, and if I was doing the salad. So he was trying to really create
His restaurant.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, and then I give up. And then I said, you know what? Something better is coming. And it did, actually.
And that's when you found the new space.
Yeah. After 1 month, because in my mind, that's another lesson that, because I'm lucky enough to learn a lesson for whatever happened to me. So I said, I think this time I was lucky enough to learn this lesson that, because I thought one day I said, this is my last chance, and then my friend said, that's the problem that you have, because you need to take this out of your mind. That's your last chance. Because in my mind, I thought, there is already the stove, the oven, so I don't have to spend that much money, and it's close to my house, it's exactly what I want. And then she said, just think differently. And that's what I did. And after 1 month, casually, I found my new place. So never give up.
That's incredible.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. Well, congratulations.
Thank
I'm very
you.
happy for you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm super happy too.
Yeah, because it sounds like you, when you were going through all of that with the initial guy, it sounds like you almost called it quits. You went and visited home, was re-inspired, ignited that flame in you, and came back.
Exactly. Because as I said, in my mind, that was the only place that I could afford, and the only place that I was perfect for me, which it was not true in so many ways, because because this place is very close to my house, and I walk a lot. So I was walking by and I saw this place. I thought, oh my God, thank God I didn't get that place, because it's so ugly right now in my eyes that, it's just crazy. So that's a huge lesson that I learned. Never give up and never be focus in something and think that you cannot do better, because you always do.
Yeah.
So
you opened your mindset and other opportunities.
Absolutely. Yeah, because that's life, cannot be just problems all the time, just not
Hopefully.
Gotta be solutions.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
And you need to find a solution, work around. So that's what happened.
That's great.
I know we don't want to give away too much about what's to come with the new restaurant, but what can people expect from the menu? I know you've done a lot of menu development stuff in the past.
Yes.
Are you bringing back a lot of your favorite dishes from back home? Where are you going with the menu?
Well, there are some of my signature dish that I'm going to develop more, because right now what I'm doing is not easy, because that's my restaurant. It's not somebody else's restaurant, so I cannot do wrong. So I'm taking all the dishes that make me kind of, famous in my other restaurant. So I'm trying to develop more the recipe and even the style of the food styling, just because there are going to be 16 people, so I can manage very well. It's going to be amazing. There is a team that I'm telling you right now are going to be threes.
Okay.
And because there is the team reminds my childhood. So everything from dishes are going to remind you trees. So it's going to be, everything is going to be perfect.
That's great.
Nice.
Oh, yeah, we're very excited.
Yes.
I can't wait to try some.
Yes.
I know, Marcus, you've been here a lot longer. You've experienced a lot more food culture in LA.
Sure, yeah.
And Barbara, I know LA kind of has a lot of a pop-up culture. What do you think of the pop-up scene?
Well, I mean, I love the pop-up scene because I didn't tell you something. When I moved here in 2005, for me it was super hard to make friends because this city is not easy for relationship, to make friends, because everybody is so focused or whatever. Because you come here not to make family, but just to work.
Okay.
For the opportunity.
Yeah,
so,
everyone's kind of coming here to pursue their
exactly.
dreams.
That's what it is. So we are all focused on whatever we want to pursue. So what I did in 2009, no, 2010, sorry, because I did all these other food stylist job before. So what I did, in 2010, I guess, I said, that's my culture. And I start to do pop-up restaurant in my apartment. So what I did, I create a table. I just paint all the wall and everything. So I did a huge table in my apartment for 12 people.
Oh, wow.
And I was so lucky to have so many amazing people coming to my pop-up. Oscar, like people that got Oscar, scientists, like amazing people that I didn't expect because I didn't know that. I was, people was even looking at my page, even bright. That's I have another even bright.
Yeah.
And I was not that much ready for something like that, so I didn't buy another phone for the business. So what happens that, I start to receive a phone call from people at 2:00 in the morning. Can I come now? And then I got scared. I said, I don't feel safe because I live by myself. So I said, maybe it's not that safe. I just, didn't think about safety. So that was in my own apartment. I will never do anything like that anymore.
Okay.
So.
That's such a cool experience, though. And,
Oh, yeah.
like when everyone found you and came together.
Yeah,
really
even
special.
that was the beginning of my dream, to have my little restaurant in my apartment, which is happened again now. I rent another apartment, which is going to be just for that. So I know that the circle is just closed right now. I start doing this. I said, okay, because I want to try things. If they work, work. If they don't work, next.
Yeah.
So, and I think that all my career that I was lucky because I never give up in anything. So I have a very specific dream. Yeah. So I don't give up to any of them. So
you're doing it. You're living the dream.
Nor should you.
Yeah.
Nor should you. Yeah.
No, I have to be honest. I think that you need to create your own dream, and if you really believe in it, sooner or later it's going to happen. So that's it.
Yeah.
Well, I hope the guy who has that other space walks into your restaurant and realizes what a huge mistake he made.
I'm going to invite him for dinner for sure, because it's like one block, so he can walk. I'm going to send him an invitation, 100%. That's
great. Well, where can everybody find your art? Where can people find your food, your handles?
Okay.
News about the opening?
Yeah, right now because I didn't is my Instagram right now, so it's my first and last name, and for sure everything is going to be right there. The world is going to know that I'm opening a restaurant. Just be sure that is going to happen.
Awesome.
And then I'm working on my website, so it's going to be soon even the website out. But everything is coming from my Instagram right now, so it's at Barbara Pollastrini. That's it.
Which I definitely recommend looking at because
Thank you.
there's amazing things on there.
Thank you.
Well, Barbara, thanks so much for being on the podcast with us.
Yes, grazie.
Thank you. I was very happy. Thank you so much for having me.
And good luck with the opening.
I will. Thank you so much.